Hawks win 6-2 over the Dallas Stars. Taylor Hall gets the hat trick. Connor Bedard off the schneid. Louis Crevier's first NHL goal. Let's party. The CHGO Blackhawks postgame show is next. The CHGO Blackhawks post-game podcast. I'm Jay Zawoski. Next to me is Greg Boyson. Mario Tirabassi is at the United Center and will join us after post-game duties. Hawks win 6-2. Just the other day, I was lamenting the fact that the San Jose Sharks scored 7 goals on the LA Kings, and I said, why can't we have a game like that? Here it is. The Hawks score 6 goals. 17 seconds into the game, Taylor Hall begins the scoring with his first of 3 goals, his first hat trick since 2013, which is insane. Connor Bedard scores. It was finally a really fun and kind of a stress-free third period for the first time maybe all season.
Yeah, third period was stress-free. But like after the first period, I turned to you guys in the press box and said, 2 goals ain't winning this game. I don't feel safe. At 3-0, I didn't feel safe. 4-0, I was like, okay, and then they give up that goal right away, 4-1. I'm like, oh, no. Let's not do that.
Especially when it looked like Teuvo was the one who put it in the net.
But it was Colin Blackwell, our old friend. The last
course.
Blackhawk to get a hat trick before tonight.
Who could forget?
Colin Blackwell.
Such a memorable moment.
That was a great game, actually. Who was
Yeah,
that
it was a
against?
good game.
Was that
You're
against? No, that who cares?
I don't know.
Yeah, so they give up that goal. Make it 4-1, and you're thinking, oh, no. Stars are probably going to get a second one here before the period, and then we're going to have to sweat it out. But credit to the Hawks. They kept it on and got 2 more goals before the end of the period. So, hey, that was fun. And the Stars, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. The Stars are all of a sudden very leaky. They gave up 5 goals in the third period to Carolina, and then 6 goals in the first 2 periods. So that's 11 goals over 3 periods, if my math is right. And
It's not good.
that's not a characteristic of the Dallas Stars. Casey DeSmith.
Casey just sucked.
He was bad tonight. If Jake Ottinger was playing, we'd have been sweating out that third period.
I think so. They still might have won because this was a pretty complete effort. We'll get into it more in depth as we go on here, but a fun night with a lot to get to. Before we start really kicking the show off, do us a favor, smash that like button for us. I know we've got a lot of people watching. If you're thankful for these post-game shows, win or lose, do us a favor and hit that like button. You know we're all thankful for you guys being here after every game, win or lose. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you because you're probably listening on Thursday morning or something. Do us a favor and like, subscribe, follow, whatever your favorite app calls for, and take a few seconds to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That would go a long way. Also, you should know that tomorrow begins our big sale for everybody. If you're a diehard, check your email. You've got a free Black Friday code in there, but the sale for everybody at store.allcitynetwork.com begins tomorrow, so keep your eye out for that. And we'll tell you a little bit later in the show how to become a diehard and join the party here. So much to get to. Let's start with Taylor Hall. And we've been talking about, when we've had PD on, PD's got a lot of experience with Taylor Hall and saying it's a guy who kind of follows the puck. And when these lines were revealed this week, we had sort of discussed like, hey, you know what? This kind of makes sense because you've got Bedard, when you look at his micro stats, really good creating off the rush. Taylor Hall's a guy who creates off the rush. And lo and behold, the first Blackhawks goal 17 seconds into the game is the opening shift. Taylor Hall streaks down the left wing side, fires it on net, and Casey DeSmith whiffs on it, and it's 1-0 right into the game. And that looked like a first line. Yeah. And not just because they were scoring, not just because, but they were an offensive line that was threatening the Dallas Stars the whole game.
Well, one of the best things that's going to come out of this game is the fact that these lines will stay the same for the next game. That's what we wanted. We saw these lines at practice on Monday, and we're like, okay, fine. I'm at the point where I don't care what the lines are. Just let them marinate for a few games. 6-1, top line, get you 4 goals between the 3 of them. Hard to argue with that. Keep it going. It was a balanced attack. You had a legit first line. You had a second line that was dangerous at 5-on-5.
Yep.
Tyler Bertuzzi and Teuvo Teräväinen, 5-on-5 points. What's going on?
I know.
I'm scared.
Bertuzzi looked
I'm really scared.
Really good in this game, doing all the Bertuzzi stuff.
Connor Bedard scoring goals. Tyler Bertuzzi and Teuvo Teräväinen, 5-on-5 points. Taylor Hall, a hat trick. I'm scared. Something's not right.
No, it's logical. I mean, this is what we've been begging for is, Luke is trying to shuffle these things and try to find the right combination, and then you try something, and then they lose, so it's try something else, and then they lose again, so try something else.
Let it
Even
go.
if they had lost this game 6-2, but the game had looked the same in terms of chances and things like that, keep these guys together. This, I think, for the first time, you have 4 lines that make sense. And look, there's going to be people that say, Lucas Reichel's not a 4th-line player. He is right now. Now, so let it be. Don't touch anything. And even if you lose the next game, keep these lines intact and let them cook.
I know there's been a lot of there's been some people that are, hey, you got to play Lucas Reichel more. No, you don't. Not if you have top 2 lines that are producing. You don't.
Right.
He's doing great at exactly the role you have him in. You took him off that 4th line and you put him on Connor Bedard's line that one game, and it didn't work.
Right.
Granted, it's one game.
Sure.
Just if it's working, don't change it. That's the one line you didn't need to change.
Yeah.
and finally, the Blackhawks have a night where the 4th line isn't the best offensive line.
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel good? And you even have a 3rd line now that is a really good defensive line. And we'll get into it as we go on, but that was Ilya Mikheyev's best game as a Blackhawk. It's not even close.
So we're looking at the game scores here. You hear us talk about the blue lines. The top 9 players in this game, and 17 of 18 are Blackhawks. You want to know the highest rated Blackhawk was in this game? You're never going to get this.
Louis Crevier.
No. He was 3rd.
TJ Brody again.
Nope.
Damn.
I'm telling you, you're never going to get it. Alec Martinez.
What?
Had a 4.14 game score.
This is why we got rid of this game score crap last year for Who's Your Hawk, because Alec Martinez looked bad out there.
His expected goals for in this game was a 1.4. That's very good. But yeah, there were a lot of bad passes and weird things like that. So that is also hey, there were things happening that we didn't see, and also sometimes trust your eyes over the metrics. It's kind of a double lesson.
Right. That's why we came up with our own
scoring system.
Yes, because I don't trust those game scores. Because
to
me, Alec Martinez was not the best Blackhawk tonight.
No.
He had a couple of lousy turnovers, whiffed on a one-timer. So I don't trust it.
So here are the 3 stars of the game. Get your votes in for the 4-star after I tell you who they are. 3rd star, Louis Crevier, gets his first NHL goal. The number 2 star, Tyler Bertuzzi with 2 assists. And, of course, your number 1 star, Taylor Hall, with 3 goals. His first hat trick since 2013 and the 5th of his NHL career. So here are your candidates for 4-star. Ilya Mikheyev with an assist, 4 shots on goal, and 6 shot attempts. Louis Crevier's goal was all Mikheyev. Taking the puck with speed, driving to the net around Matt Dumba. Then Brendan Smith's it's Louis Crevier behind me, so I'm going to go to Mikheyev. Mikheyev backhands a pass right on the tape.
Dumba and Smith take out their goalie.
Yes,
Easy
and each
goal.
other.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Crevier gets the goal. Mikheyev's best game as a Hawk. I don't think there's any question about it. Yeah. Teuvo Teräväinen with a goal, 2 shots, and 3 shot attempts. And, of course, Connor Bedard with a goal. He was +2, had 2 shots on goal and 3 shot attempts. And, boy, when he scored that goal, he just looked up at the sky Thank God.
My hair blew back from the sigh of relief.
Yeah.
It made it all was such a big sigh that it made it all the way up to the press box. And by the way, the Colin Blackwell was the last hat trick March 10th of last season against the Arizona Coyotes. R.I.P.
That's right.
Jason Dickinson did have a hat trick last season too, but that was early in the season in November, almost a year ago to the date, November 24th, in that memorable Toronto game where Kevin Korchinski had the overtime game.
That was a fun game.
Yeah. So 2 hat tricks last season. Blackwell was last. Do you want to take a guess on who had the one before that? On March 14th, 2023. I have no recollection of this whatsoever.
March 14th, 2023.
I won't guess because I know it, but
so post trade deadline of 2023. You'll never get
no
it.
idea.
Taylor Radish had a hat trick against the Boston Bruins. I had totally forgot about that.
By the way, Fancy Top says just let the Hawks play good teams from now on.
That's what I said.
Adding to the list.
7-game winning streak. I called it.
The Hawks have beaten the Oilers, the Sharks, the Avalanche, the Kings, the Ducks, the Wild, the Panthers, and now the Stars.
Yes. And you have the Wild again on Friday. And they're probably going to lose to the Blue Jackets because they're not very good. Then they'll beat the Maple Leafs on Monday. And they'll beat the Bruins because they always beat the Bruins.
The Bruins suck, so maybe not.
But they always beat the Bruins, though, because they're fraud.
Yeah, that's true. The fraudulent
I believe it was that March 14th hat trick by Taylor Radish that led to the Mario famous calling them frauds, because that was in the midst of their greatest regular season ever.
That's true.
That was that post game where we learned that the Bruins were in fact frauds.
I think you're right.
Giving up a hat trick to Taylor Radish is pretty glaring evidence.
That proves your fraudulency.
That was when the downfall of Jim Montgomery began.
Yes, and it's just nice to have a game that the Hawks win where the goalie is not the 4-star. And Mrazek played great. Don't get me wrong. Like, he certainly is eligible, but when this team scores 6 goals, you got to leave the goalie out. But
yes,
it's just nice, like, when you get that lead. And then there were a couple of opportunities in the first and the second for Dallas, some tough scoring chances that Mrazek kept out of the back of the net, keeping the momentum going, because we have seen time and time and time again this year that when the Hawks do give up a quick goal after scoring one, they tend to collapse a little bit. And that was not the case today because of how great Mrazek played. And again, don't take this wrong. I'm not saying that it was ever the goalie's fault, right, when that would happen. But Teuvo scores 3:06 into the second period, and then Colin Blackwell scores at 3:41. And like you said, you're kind of like, oh, uh-oh. That was another quick response goal against and kind of ugly.
Yeah.
But they held on. And look, what I really liked about this one, too, is the third period, Hawks were outshot by 1 shot. Like, it was a pretty even period in the third. It was 7 shots for Dallas, 6 for the Hawks, and Dallas had 2 power plays in that period. So we didn't see them sit back, waiting to lose, icing the puck, playing to prevent. They played their game the whole game.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my fear too when it was 2-0 was, are they now going to sit back scared and just let Dallas take it to them?
We had somebody tweet at us like, "Oh, okay, typical Hawks.
Yeah,
they're going to."
They actually skeeted at us.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was? Sorry, I can't keep the sites. But somebody shouted at us that the typical Hawks, great first period. They'll slowly give it away in the second and completely break down in the third. So in your face, whoever that was. Yes, 2-0 lead first period. It's like, okay, I've seen this movie before. They go up, Bedard gets that goal first minute of that period. I mean,
40 seconds in.
They've scored in the opening minute of the first and second period.
Sorry.
That's how you do it. Those goals in opening and final minutes, and then Crevier's goal was late in that second period. And at that point it was done. It was so nice to have a game where you're just like, not since the Edmonton game have we had a game where we could kind of just not really pay attention in the third period, start planning post-game show stuff, and not sweat it out. It's nice.
I don't want to make too much of one win, but let's take a look at what this could mean going forward for the Blackhawks when we come back here on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast. But Greg, I'm hoping that by now you know that ComEd can help businesses save money by becoming more energy efficient.
You know what? 6 Blackhawks goals. There's nothing in my brain right now except Chelsea Dagger.
Did
Sorry.
you take a puck off the noggin like Derek King?
No, but that's the key to victory, apparently.
Well, Greg, once again, the energy efficiency program can help find up to 35% in energy savings.
That is almost as amazing as the Blackhawks scoring 6 goals against the Stars. Why don't more businesses do that, and what do they have to do?
Well, they need to sign up for a free facility assessment at comed.com/biz, and you would think with such a memorable website, they would remember it.
Exactly, like comed.com/biz.
That's it.
Comed.com/biz.
Yes.
Comed.com/beat-up-6 biz.
Yes, that should do it.
All right.
Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary based on customers' energy usage and rate, and the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law, just the way we like it.
Absolutely. You know what else we like? We like Black Friday sales events that go on all month long, just like the one at Ray Chevrolet, where you can score doorbuster deals on your next vehicle without the door-busting stress. Head in today and shop their huge selection of new Chevy models with special Black Friday prices. Right now, you can get anywhere from $3,200 to $13,000 off MSRP on most new Chevy models, or you can shop over 125 of their vehicles priced under $20,000. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the entire Midwest, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. Visit our partner this November at their location on Route 12 in Fox Lake, or at raychevrolet.com. I believe our Bears crew was there today.
Indeed.
And if you've heard, that's a different sponsor. And if you heard of Ray Chevrolet, then you've also heard of Ray's Price Promise. They're guaranteed to make your next vehicle more affordable than ever with no price changing, no add-ons, and no hidden fees ever. That means the incredible prices we're talking about right now, those are the ones you're going to see when you shop Ray Chevy in-store or online. Shop the Black Friday sales event all month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963, the last time Taylor Hall had a hat trick. Together, let's drive.
All right, let's knock out any super chats we have up there, Nate. We got one from Prison Mike. $5 from Prison Mike says, okay, whatever they did before the game, keep doing it. Where the hell has this been? Lesson learned to shoot the puck. Big win and happy Thanksgiving. The key to victory is Ryan Sandberg and his family.
That's what it is.
Blowing the goal horn.
You got to have Ryan Sandberg there. And you got to hit Derek King in the head with a puck.
That's it. We'll get Region Rev down there next to the glass, and she'll just pelt him with pucks the entire
Godfather will do it, too.
Giggities with a $2 super chat says Ryder Ralston was clearly holding this team back. Actually, we had a nice chat with Rockford Ice Hogs GM Mark Bernard during the first intermission, and he said it's just an opportunity for him to go play.
Yeah.
He's going to get the chance to play.
Too many better players than Ryder Ralston in the organization now.
I'm
I'm cheering for him.
Yeah, great kid.
I like Ryder Ralston.
Obviously,
but,
good kid. Yeah. Lebowski with a $5 super chat. Should have been here before the show. We were doing big Lebowski lines back and forth with Peck and Nate the whole time. Hawks played like they heard the Richardson firing chatter and played like they don't want that to happen.
But I thought they don't like him. I'm confused.
We're projecting a little bit there, but I'll take it. And Scott with a $2 super chat says Ding King touchdown. There you go.
Right.
Yeah, it was an eventful night when you go back and look at everything that happened between Derek King, Ryan Sandberg, the hat trick, Bedard scoring.
Yeah.
It's like it was a whole day's worth of news headlines in one game.
Yeah. And Ryder Ralston got traded.
That's right. 3 days ago, it seems.
Yeah.
There he is. There's Derek King on your screen doing the intermission interview.
That's a hockey coach.
Band-Aid on his head.
Rub some dirt on and get out there.
Got that image from Charlie Romeliotis' Twitter, which I believe he got from the CHSN screen cap. So there you go. One more super chat just came in, by the way, from Daniel. Shout out to the Three Musketeers, Reichel Maroon, and Granny Smith. Love seeing the chemistry. Happy Thanksgiving, fellas. Thank you, Daniel. We appreciate the super chat. And if you have not sent a super chat, that's fine. It's very well if you just smash that like button for us. We'd appreciate that. That is a free way to help us out. And we'll get to your comments as the show goes on as well. But let's, you get a game like this, and like I said before the break, you don't want to make too much of it and say, this is going to be the moment, but you've got to imagine that having the offensive breakout, having two of your guys that were struggling offensively, all the headlines were about Bedard, But Taylor Hall hadn't done much on the score sheet either.
Teräväinen.
Teuvo too. Yep.
Tyler Bertuzzi.
Yeah.
Philip Kurashev got an assist tonight.
Yes, he did.
All the guys you needed to get on the score sheet did it in the first period. It's
just
crazy.
It's got to be a massive confidence boost for these guys.
Yeah.
And again, like Vin Scully says, momentum is the next day's starting pitcher. Different sport, but the idea behind that statement is that it doesn't exist. It's a game-to-game thing. But I just think all the weight that this team's been carrying, and I saw Ben Pope tweet it the other day, he's never seen Bedard seem so frustrated before.
Yeah, he was definitely, after that Panthers game, when we talked to him at practice, was like, I'm not doing anything out there. I got to do, since I'm not doing anything offensively and I'm lost, I'm going to play better defense.
Yeah.
And just his reaction when he scored tonight, he wasn't hiding it.
Right.
It was like,
and still only 2 shots on goal and 3 shot attempts. You'd like to see him be more involved, but the puck went in the net. And it was one of those, as we were watching the Connor Bedard highlights before the draft and after the draft leading into the season, that if you can call something vintage by a 19-year-old, the change the angle shot, pull it in close, shoot it through traffic, right over the DeSmith's shoulder. Like, that was a Connor Bedard goal. It's the kind that can get his confidence going, and I don't know. I don't think it's going to really change the ultimate outcome of the season. They're not going to suddenly make a run by any means, but I just think this like clears a lot of the stuff that has been plaguing this team.
Pull back a little bit. Like, we were all thinking maybe they're turning a corner on that 5-game road trip where they went 3-2, should have went 4-1. And then they came home, and then that Detroit game, and they lost that one, and then they had, a few real stinkers. This is 4 straight games this team has gone into the third period with a lead. And they now have a 3-game point streak.
Yeah.
So things are getting better. Things are progressing, and now it looks like you have your forward line combinations figured out. At least for the time being, maybe you tinker in a game or two. Maybe you swap Kurashev and Teuvo. I'd be fine with that. Whatever. I don't care. Leave it for Minnesota. Let it ride. Maybe Nolan Alley just got Wally pipped.
Oh, man. Louis pipped.
Louis pipped. You young guys, look that up on Google. You'll get it. But it's 4 straight games leading into the third period. 3 straight games with a point. You've closed out 2. I mean, obviously a 6-1 lead. You blow that one,
but you did it.
You didn't. You only gave up the 1 goal, and who cares? It was a power play goal, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So whatever. It's Matt Duchene. It doesn't even count. So
it doesn't.
No.
Okay.
Screw that guy.
Fine.
So things are getting better. Like, you're seeing this team, and now a 6-goal outburst. Hopefully they didn't need to save any for Friday. But go into Friday now. A team you just beat a couple of weeks ago. You beat the Minnesota Wild in overtime here at the United Center 2 weeks ago. You know you can beat them. You know you can play against them. They only scored 1 goal tonight against Buffalo on the common 4-on-1 rush.
Oh, my God. Go watch that, and then go watch the
Charlie Lindgren goal.
Charlie Lindgren goal on himself.
Yeah. Thankfully, the Capitals came back and won that game, bailed them out. But so, for things in, hockey seasons usually get broken up in like little doses where you play good for 5 games and you play not so good for a couple games and you play okay for 4 games. Maybe they're going to enter a stretch now where 5 or 6 games they play good. They're not going to win every one of these games, but you've got teams that you play better against teams that are better than you. So you got the Wild, who are better than you. You've beat once already. Build off of this. Go into Minnesota and score a couple goals early again and play with the lead. You played with a lead tonight.
Yeah.
That for the entire game. Have they done that all season? The Edmonton game, maybe?
Maybe.
The Panthers game was that they were up most of that game. But whatever. You had a lead 17 seconds in.
Yeah.
And you never played timid or scared after that. That's the key.
That's it.
Get that lead and just keep going. They never at any point were like, oh no. They never started gripping the sticks saying, we got to hold on to this. I said, no, this is working. Let's keep doing it.
Well, and that's, I mean, as things have been mounting poorly for the last week or 2 or 3, however you want to do it, like people would say, well, what did you guys expect? This team's rebuilding and yada, yada. And the reason we are getting frustrated after losses this year versus the last 2 years is this team is a better roster. This team has shown the capability to maybe not beat every team they play, but they're in every game they play. And then it just gets away from them because they don't have a complete 60-minute effort. And look, yes, Dallas had the edge in, shots, shot attempts, scoring attempts. Like, that's going to happen when you play the Dallas Stars.
Well, you were pointing it out in the first period. As soon as they get the puck, they shoot.
They shoot every effing time
Yes.
they have the puck. Last, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago, we had PD on to break down Dallas's just obsession with shooting the puck.
Works.
It works. But you knew, win or lose, they're going to get outshot and outchanced most nights just because of the talent gap. But they're in every game. I fail to think of a game, maybe that first game against Vancouver,
but even
where they were like really outclassed.
But you got to remember that game was tied 2-2 after the first period.
Yeah.
Like they weren't really in it, but they kept it close. It didn't get out of hand to the I think didn't Vancouver have like 2 empty netters in that one, or at least
Perhaps,
one?
Yeah.
There was the one real clinker of a game recently. But yeah, there haven't been many where they were just had the doors completely blown off. Like they were never in that Detroit game. They lost that one 4-1, and it was just kind of a bleh
Yeah, that
game
was not great.
because we were upset because that was the first game back after that successful road trip, and it was disappointing that you lay an egg against Detroit. But other than that, I mean, the Vancouver game in Vancouver was Seattle. They lost 3-1, but I don't know what it is about that building and the Blackhawks. They always seem to just. But you're right. For the most part, 90% of the games they've had a chance. They've been competitive,
right?
And we kind of knew that was going to be the thing going into the season, that they were going to be competitive. And then it got frustrating because it was like, well, start winning some of these games. You're right there.
Yeah,
do it.
We are Mario is still. It looks like Mario is still waiting for Kyle. I almost said Kyle.
We're still waiting
to speak. But he's sending in some video. So this is it looks like Louis Crevier is coming in, so we'll hear from him on the other side of the break. Dead Hawk with the comment, 98's goal in celebration had feeling to it. Dude had more emotion there and hopefully can build off it. Yeah, I mean, as we're talking about the whole team, what remains most important is Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
And Connor Bedard's success and Connor Bedard's confidence and all those things. And as the game went on, you saw him a couple times maybe try to do still a little too much to score. Got in close there onto Smith and tried to stick handle around him. Had a partial breakaway at the end of his shift where he spun to the backhand, spun to the forehand, and then lost the puck. But had that worked, he would have shaken the defenseman and then one-on-one with the Smith and probably would have scored. So I don't necessarily, while we want him to keep it simple and shoot, I don't want to coach the magic out of him either.
No.
It's part of what makes him who he is.
Yeah, and I think the goal tonight will go a long way in bringing that magic back. Because, like, he scored tonight on his bread and butter type of play. So now, you feel it. You start feeling it.
Yeah.
And it's all – hockey is a game of confidence. When
Right.
you lose your confidence, you're done. So, getting that confidence back, realizing that he, yes, I could score at this level. Yes, I am the best player on this team. Just start going out and showing it. And what better place to show it than against Brock Faber in the Wild on Friday?
Yeah. Connor Bedard post-game audio just came in. So let's actually do that after the break here. So let's hear from one of the goal scorers in this one coming up next on CHGO Blackhawks. But if you're looking for the perfect way to elevate your day, you can do so at Vera Life Dispensary. They have everything you need from premium cannabis products to expert advice. Whether you're new to cannabis or a connoisseur, Their knowledgeable bud tenders are here to help. They've got 8 convenient locations across Illinois, so discovering your perfect experience has never been easier. And Verilife proudly offers a price match guarantee, ensuring you get the best value by matching local competitors' prices on eligible products. So don't miss out on their latest deals and exclusive offers only at Verilife Cannabis stores and online at verilife.com. That's VERILIFE.com. Mention code CHGO25 in store and receive 25% off one regular priced item. Restrictions apply. And maybe you're want to change things up. Maybe you did cannabis last night and you want to drink something cool and refreshing, and you're choosing chill after a very satisfying Blackhawks victory. Well, you know by now the best way to do that is to reach for an ice-cold Coors Light. It is the perfect choice when you choose chill. It's mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. And when those mountains turn blue on your bottle or your can, you know it is ready to go and is ice cold as the Rockies. So when you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Make the most, ooh yeah, that sounds good, out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light, and right now you can get it delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Nate, is Connor ready to go?
Not quite yet.
Okay, we'll get to Connor Bedard here in a second. A couple other comments I wanted to get to. Lost in a shuffle. You mentioned him a couple times earlier, but Tyler Bertuzzi, really effective in this one. 2 assists, and you saw him, active in front of the net, active behind the net, blocking shots, getting in the way of shooting lanes. All the stuff you wanted Tyler Bertuzzi to do when he got here, he was doing. And it's not a coincidence that the fact that in a game where you had the puck more than usual, Tyler Bertuzzi was more effective.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a guy, as we've mentioned many times, he is a guy whose game only succeeds with puck possession, and the Blackhawks had more of it tonight. Speaking of blocked shots, as a team, the Blackhawks blocked 28 shots tonight. That's how you beat the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, they were getting in lanes.
Because you know that the shots are coming, so just be ready. Connor Murphy and Alec Martinez both had 5 block shots. TJ Brody's, everybody's favorite defenseman, had 4.
He's been better. We got to be real about it.
No, TJ Brody, since he was scratched those 3 games, TJ Brody's been fine. TJ Brody has been exactly as what I was going to expect out of him. I know people dig their heels in. They get their first narrative of a guy, and then they stick with it. But TJ Brody has been just fine the last 5 or 6 games. But 28 block shots as a team tonight. That's how you beat the Dallas Stars, because the shot attempts are going to be coming frequently and from anywhere in the ice. So be ready to step in front of a puck.
All right, Mario is standing by. Do we want to should we play one of these before we bring Mario in?
Yeah, sure.
What do we got ready?
From Bedard or Hall?
Let's do Bedard. Let's hear from Connor Bedard. I'm curious to see how he sounds after this one. Then we'll get to Mario, who's standing by at the UC.
Perfect.
It looked like he felt good.
Yeah, I think you mean on the goal, just kind of relief. I mean, it's been like a month, so I don't know if I've had a stretch like that in my life, so it felt good to just see one go in.
It's happy for your goal as you were, just to see Taylor Hall get a hat-trick for the first time in over a decade.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, we were all pumped, and he's someone, obviously with last year how hard he worked to come back, and I mean, he's looked really good this year. I think pucks haven't been going in for him. Obviously, I can say the same for myself, but we've seen him make a lot of plays and looking like he is. He's a great player. So it's awesome to see that. It's fun to watch him play, and he's a great guy. So I'm really happy for him.
How much collectively did you guys just need a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when we had over 3 goals really last. So it's good to just see a bunch go in, and I thought the best part of the game probably was the third. We didn't really sit back. We kept going at them and just tried to keep the same game.
Is there anything especially clicking with your new line with Taylor?
I don't know. I mean, I think we all want to make plays. We all want to possess the puck, and that's the thing that gets all of us going, I think, is having the puck on our stick. And, I feel like we did a pretty good job of that early. And, obviously there's areas we can get better, and, we'll try to do that.
Did scoring that type of goal, did that make it sweeter? I'm sure there's been a few of those where you've hit a post or you make a post, but to beat them, like that way.
I didn't care how one went in, to be completely honest. I would have taken it off the face. But, like I said, that kind of, however it was going in, it's nice. So it feels good. Yeah.
Did see Louis score his first? What was that like?
Yeah, that was sweet. I think that's the thing today, talking about getting a lot of goals and everyone getting on the sheet. Like, everyone's having fun. Everyone's, loud on the bench, energy, and obviously see Louis get his first. It was awesome. That just kind of, reps everyone. So, it was great.
Is Thanksgiving dinner going to taste a little better after a night like this?
Yeah, we'll see. I think we got a team dinner tomorrow for it. And, I'm pretty shocked coming to the States, like how big Thanksgiving is. I feel like in Canada, we're just so much more chill about it. And here it's, everyone's kids got a week off school and stuff. So excited to kind of, celebrate it, I guess.
2 wins and 3 and a point in the game in between. Is there a sign of a turnaround here or some kind of commonality?
I mean, we hope so. I think, there's so many games and you can't look at a three game stretch too much. I mean, for us, we gotta keep building on what we're doing well and try to improve what we're not. So, obviously it's good to have a little stretch like that, but it doesn't mean much if we go out and lose a couple here. So we gotta just keep it going.
Great.
All right, there he is, Connor Bedard, courtesy of Mario's phone, and now the man with the phone himself. It's Mario Tirabassi.
It's the phone.
Oh, look at that!
There it is.
That film, Connor Bedard. That'll be worth something
The
someday.
phone itself. Yeah, maybe.
So you filmed it before the game. We haven't mentioned it yet. A little change in the routine for Connor as he went off the ice.
Sure. Yeah, maybe. That's the reason.
Hey.
He didn't toss the stick to the equipment staff before leaving the ice during warmups. He took it with him. So if he does it next game, if he does it on Friday and he scores, he's got a new routine going.
There you go. I'm in. All right, what did we hear? We just played Connor Bedard, as you know. I know Crevier spoke, Taylor Hall spoke, Luke Richardson spoke. What stood out to you?
Well, real quick, Crevier, he's a great guy. I wish he was around the NHL more because he's a fun guy to talk to. But getting his first goal, he said, he's been working really hard in his career and fun to get it tonight. He said he was getting, he was a little nervous for the first game in the UC for him in a long time, but got the goal. And he said that he thought the play was dead when he scored the goal, so he didn't know if it was going to count or not. But good to see him get that first one. Good to see Connor get the drought over with. And Taylor Hall, 11 years, almost 11 years exactly, between hat tricks. Pretty crazy for that stretch of time to go by. And Greg, as you said during the game, is pretty crazy that he didn't have a hat trick in his MVP season. But I mean, you could tell he was so relieved to not only get the offense going even just a little bit, getting the first goal 17 seconds into the game, but to have it like the floodgates open like they did to get the hat trick. And you saw it with Taylor Hall, you saw it with all the teammates, how much it meant for him to get that. And he talked a lot about that after the game, and just relief for him and for the team that they got a game like this offensively, that it wasn't a perfect game, but that they had things going. They had good energy. They built off of a good start. They played solid throughout the game. They didn't have too many breakdowns that snowballed in the wrong direction. And Bedard and Hall both spoke about how good it felt to get Mrazek a win in a game where he was playing that well. So the locker room vibe was really good, really palpable tonight. So it's something that I'm sure you guys have been talking about it. This team, up and down the lineup, everybody needed a game like this, and so did we as fans.
This was the kind of game, not a 6-1 victory or 6-2 victory rather, But just like
the Shane Golding,
the kind of win it was, like the kind of performance it was, where it's Bedard and it's Hall and it's Teräväinen and it's Bertuzzi generating the offense, and then you've got your checking line doing their thing. Their penalty killers are doing well. You get a little offense added from Ilya Mikheyev with his speed. Like, this is kind of as we were predicting how the season might go. This is what we expected performances to look like more often. And we were talking before the break, like, could this be the sort of thing that because so many, because so many like struggles were erased with Hall and Bedard and everything tonight, you kind of wonder what this could lead to for the Hawks going forward.
I think their biggest thing is build off of it. Don't feel like, this win is something to rest on. You're still at the bottom of the standings, and as we heard from, Luke Richardson before the game, he has a belief that they could get a few games going here in the right direction. Starting off with tonight, that's a really good first step. Where he believes that they can flip their record from what it was through the first 21 games of the season, getting to the American Thanksgiving mark, which is kind of historically you are what you are, either a contender or not. So this is a good first step in that belief and in the direction of that belief. And I think if this team needed a game like that to say, like, hey, like, we have this in us, like, how often this season have we said, like, losses where they blow a lead, or they're not in a game against the Sharks or the Ducks or something like that, where it's just like it gets really frustrating, and then they have wins against Minnesota and Dallas and Edmonton, and it's just like, you have it in you to beat those really good teams. You have it in you to put those really good performances together. They just need more affirmation that they can do it more often. So I think this is something where it's a game that you can build off of it. You get you have 2 games in 3 days with a Thanksgiving meal in between on a day that you're also traveling. Like, it's kind of a weird thing. So to get a big win, I'm sure puts a really good mood into the guys, into the team.
Well, you mentioned it, Jay, that like so many of the guys that were slumping kind of hopefully broke out tonight, or at least got on the right track. I mean, that's the thing, that why it's been so bad lately is because it wasn't just Connor Bedard wasn't scoring goals. Right. Taylor Hall wasn't scoring goals. Teuvo Teräväinen wasn't scoring. Nobody was scoring goals. And now, like, it's one thing if Bedard goes 12 games without a goal, but Teuvo is chipping in and Philip Kurashev is chipping in. But when they all go cold at once, it's going to get really, really bad. It's going to get bad for any team when 8 of your top 9 goal scorers are not contributing. And Taylor Hall, you could tell, is another guy that had a lot of weight off his shoulders. Just 2 goals coming in tonight, 3 goals tonight. He sounded pretty good when I heard his first start of the game, talking about how lubed up the crowd was at the United Center tonight. His words, not mine. But how was he? I'm assuming he was in a much better mood tonight after the game than what we saw, a little over a week ago.
Yeah, he was in a good mood. I mean, both he and Luke Richardson kind of talked a little bit about how he's responded since he was scratched a couple of games ago, and Taylor said that he used the term, like, sometimes it's good to feel like you're at rock bottom, but not necessarily like rock bottom, the worst you'll ever be. But he said that, in a spot where it's like, okay, that is the benchmark for the worst that I am allowed to play, and have to build up from there. And I think in the games that he's had since then, he's been building up, and then to have a game like tonight, like that's huge. Like, that's a big momentum swing from being scratched to now getting the hat trick. So he was in a really good mood, and Luke had said that him and Hall had been having good communication since then. I know that was a big sticking point, was the communication around Hall being scratched, but Luke said that they've been progressing since then, and been it's been good for Hall since then to kind of take those steps, little baby steps into playing better, and having his play elevate since then. And then this was just a huge step, and Luke was actually saying that on the hat trick goal that he was actually calling for Hall to come off the ice, because I think there was a delayed penalty or something like that, to get like a fresh guy on there for the extra, along with the extra attacker. And he said that he's glad that Taylor didn't hear him, so he went in and got the goal anyway. So he said he was kind of joking with him after he scored that one. So it's look, like winning is fun, and it cures a lot of the woes that you experience game to game in a season like this. So it's good vibes all around. So that's something that, like I said, something that everybody that cares about the Blackhawks needed.
Speaking of rock bottoms, Survivor Series watch along on Saturday night.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. Nicely done.
But I love that's very good. And we should mention too, CHGO wrestling now a thing.
It is.
Tony Khan, Ricochet. It's been a good run.
Yeah, it's been a fun couple weeks.
Get Hulk Hogan in here so we can rock bottom him through various.
We'll get our buddy Slack in here, and
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Through what is his tweet? A comprehensive salad buffet. He's gonna give him a German suplex through a comprehensive salad buffet. Yes, screw that guy. Okay. Yeah, it's just like you said, Mario. Though, like it is just kind of as we saw Connor Bedard, like it just kind of has that collective feel for the whole team.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Connor scored that goal, and I had the exact same reaction. I just fell back in my chair and was just like, "Thank God!" Like everybody needed that goal. So yeah, it was really good. So I'm happy with the way that they played tonight. I mean, to be honest, I was talking with myself in the car ride over here earlier this afternoon, and just kind of like, I was like mentally preparing myself for how rough this game could be, and how rough it could feel going through. Like, all right, if they win tonight, I'm going to be shocked, and if they get destroyed, like that's just going to be what it is. It's going to be a rough post game. I'm going to be in a bad mood. I'm going to get home late, go to Thanksgiving. I'm going to be in a bad mood, and then Friday it's going to be like, I'm stuffed with turkey. I'm in a bad mood still because this team is not playing well, and everything changes. Everything changes because they have a performance like this. So I'm not gonna sit here and say this is the turning point of the season, and
Declaration.
The value of the season is going to go through the roof, and they're going to go right into the playoffs. But this was something that everybody needed. So I'm glad that they got it. Glad they got it against a team like the Stars. Like, I know that it wasn't Ottinger in goal, and it wasn't a lineup that had Rupe Hintz in it, but still, like, it's still a team that's more talented than you even still. So to get a win like that, like that's big.
No doubt. All right, before we spring it, we got to do Who's Your Hawk?
Sure. Do the Who's Your Hawk. Jay, you are back in the lead.
Did I win today too? Oh wow, I did not expect that.
Yeah, you
had the worst picks today for a 6-1 win. 6-2.
Yes, we are bad at this.
That Duchesne goal doesn't count.
No, it doesn't.
We keep saying 6-1.
It's not you keep saying 6-1.
I know.
I'm fine, but
I did it once too.
Whatever. Who cares? Matt Duchesne, we don't count him. But Philip Kershev, 5.5 points tonight for Big Phil. Puts you back in the lead at 77. I'm still trying to chip away. 4 points from Ryan Donato. I guess Alex Vlasic isn't the 6-point guarantee we thought he was going to be. But hey, 2 points. That's a pretty good night for any of us this year. Like, it's been tough to get points. So
did you for funsies do what the point total would have been for Taylor Hall?
I can real quick.
I can give it to you here. 3 goals plus 3 shots.
So
that's 100% shooting.
12, 13 and a half, 14 and a half points he would have had.
That would have made a big difference.
That sounds better than 2.
It does.
Yeah.
Taylor Hall beat all 3 of our guys combined by himself.
Yeah, I honestly, when I was putting in my pick for Slack, I was like, I wanted to go with Taylor Hall, but Jay had picked Kershev, and I was like, well, if the top line gets shut down, that's not going to do any of us any favors. So let me go with Vlasic, and I need to trust my instincts a little bit better.
Yeah, go with your gut. My gut last game said Reichel, and I should have picked him.
Here's a fun stat. Brendan Smith, the guy that broke Connor Bedard's jaw last season, -4 tonight.
Ooh.
Connor Bedard had his revenge. -4. That means he was on the ice for 4 of the 5-on-5 goals against, and was literally in the net for the Louis Crevier goal.
Good
So
place
it's
to
really
see
a
it.
minus. It's really a -5.
Yeah, he's a minus at life. Way to go, Brendan.
Oh boy.
All right, Mario. Safe journeys back. Happy Thanksgiving, man, and we'll see you here on Friday.
Friday afternoon. Are we having a leftovers potluck?
If we have any.
I don't know. That's a discussion to have on Friday morning.
Yeah. If not, we got pizza.
That works too.
All right.
Never
We'll see you
go
then.
wrong with pizza.
All right, that is Mario Tirabassi live from the United Center. Follow him on Twitter at Mario_Tirabassi, and I've not learned his Blue Sky name yet. I'm assuming it's Mario Tirabassi.
Probably.
It's the same.
It is MarioTirabassi.bsky.social. So follow him there as well. And don't call us names because we're on Blue Sky. That would be weird for you to be that obsessed with a social media site.
It is very weird.
Lots of weirdness going on there.
That's why people aren't there anymore.
Correct. That is correct.
Stop proving our point. It's nice to see that our chat can still be weird even on nice nights, but we love you guys. We're thankful for you during this Thanksgiving season, that's for sure.
100%.
And don't forget the Black Friday sale is going on at the CHGO store.
Yeah, I have the info here because there's some details here. It started Tuesday for our diehards.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a diehard, jump into your email and you'll have your code in there. Our official Black Friday deal starts Friday officially. However, your automatic discount will be applied starting tomorrow, Thanksgiving. So there you go. It'll be there. You'll get 30% off automatically applied, and you'll save up to 75% off of sale items. I was looking at the sale items. You want to stock up on some old Coyote stuff? Looks great. It's a nice kind of a collector's item. Get some PHNX Coyotes gear, because this sale is not just for CHGO stuff. It's across the board, and we just launched, if you missed it, in tandem with our Black Friday sale, the brand new like varsity looking gear.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like all the old college sweatshirts. There's also some college theme stuff.
Some
I
Big
saw.
Ten shirts in there.
Yeah, we need a Notre Dame one. But Iowa, Wisconsin,
don't.
Northwestern. Shut up. Yeah, hater. It's what most people in Chicago root for.
No.
Yeah.
No.
People exist south of Madison. It's true.
That's still a true thing, yes.
Yes, people exist south of Madison. I know that no one believes it, but yeah, there's people that live south. Yeah.
I don't care.
It's true. And it's closer to Chicago than most of the other schools.
Yeah, but...
And they're better than all the other schools at football.
Really? Are they?
Yes. Who are they? They're ranked number 5.
They're not better than Northern Illinois.
They are, because they're ranked number 5.
No.
And Northern Illinois is not ranked. And when the college football playoff comes around,
as a
Dame is
proud
gonna be
Husky,
there.
I will say that game was right there for them
I don't...
all game long, and they just let it
They
slip
just
away
refuse to take it.
over and over
they're
and
not
over
good.
again.
Okay. I don't know what you're doing Steiner math like the chat is doing right now.
No.
Anyway,
Notre Dame might as well play in New York City for all I care.
they do play in New York City.
Yeah.
They did this weekend. They beat Army in New
that
York
was a
City.
tough one.
They were ranked number 19 at the time. But everybody wants to poo-poo the wins that Notre Dame has.
Was
So, well, they were ranked at the time. Well, they're not ranked anymore because Notre Dame beat them. They're undefeated until they play Notre Dame.
Notre Dame and Army ranked, what is it, 1931?
What?
Whatever.
Well,
Who cares?
I can't argue with that. Anyway, so yeah, take advantage of that deal going on at the All City Network, the store.allcitynetwork.com. And if you want to become a diehard, allchgo.com is the way to do that. We've also got to finally name our 4-star of the game. And someone, I missed who it was in the chat, who was appealing for Ilya Mikheyev. Ilya Mikheyev actually did get my vote in this one. It was Adrian Cherikos is stumping for Ilya Mikheyev. He got my vote, but it was not enough. Connor Bedard is your 4-star of the game. What was the final total, Nate?
I believe Bedard had 68%. Let me double check that.
So close.
So close to having a nice...
We're going to round it up to the nearest 9.
Yeah, but the thing is...
No, it went down to 57.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
was going to say, Connor wouldn't even get the 69 jokes anyway.
Adrian, I think your stumping worked. Got a late rally for Mikheyev, but
I voted for him just because I like Ilya Mikheyev.
It's a guy we don't talk about a lot, and it's funny, in the locker room, no one ever really talks to him. He just kind of comes in and does his thing.
Because it's weird, because anytime you get a player, I know he's been in the league for a while, but especially from Russia, one of the other European countries, you're not quite sure if there's a language barrier there or not.
We should find out, though. I wouldn't mind talking to him.
Yeah, he'll probably have some more attention to him. But as I said, during the game in the first period, I'm pretty sure it's not just my, a guess, but I think Ilya Mikheyev has the best defensive stick of all the forwards. He's always breaking up passes.
He's good defensively.
He's got the wheels. I'd like to see some of those points pile up. So maybe a night like tonight, again, for him, he gets the assist by using his speed, drawing the defense. And that's a line that like beginning of the year, we had said Mikheyev, Foligno, Dickinson should be your third shutdown line. That could also be a sneaky good offensive line too.
Yeah,
because they're going to be out there, against those top lines a lot, but they'll be able to catch defensemen cheating because hey, it's our top line. Well, I'm going to pinch, and with Mikheyev's speed, Dickinson's got good speed. That could be a line that not only shuts down the other line, but gives you some of that timely secondary scoring.
It's just that these lines tonight made so much damn sense.
Yeah.
And what do you know? They worked and you won. I just like to see it. But Mikheyev on that play, I said to you, look at the speed as he blew past Matt Dumba, who should be number 55. Just blew past him, and then all of a sudden we're laughing because the puck's in the back of the net. It's there. You see it, and it's just that finish for him. Man, even if it was like a third of the shots he gets better, like he just does not have any puck luck at all. He had a scoring chance in the
first period too. He was right in front of the net and just couldn't put it in.
Wait,
but
what do you have? 4 shots and 6 shots on goal in this one? Yeah, 4 shots, 6 shot attempts, and 15-22 of ice time. Like
he was feeling it.
Made the most of his time in this one. Everybody did.
And I think like a guy on like that line on a night like tonight, when you got a 3 or 4 goal lead, they can be like, okay, we want to play offense too. Like we don't have to just worry about defense. We got a 3-goal lead. Let's go cheat. Let's go have some fun. And I did want to ask Luke today, but I'm going to save it for practice, the next practice. I was going to ask him in pregame about the discussion we had with Petey about the defensemen not pinching when they should.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask him about, with the offensive struggling, do you think that affects the mindset of the defensemen where they're not going to be as aggressive as you want them to because they're so worried about giving up a goal? I was going to ask him in pregame, but then they started talking about Thanksgiving and football. I was like, man, I'm not going to bring this back to a serious conversation. So
God forbid.
I'll save it for a practice when Luke loves to like break down X's and O's and give us one of those 8-minute answers.
He truly does.
He loves those questions.
Yeah, he loves talking.
That's why Ben Pope is his favorite beat reporter.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Well, Ben's always got a strategic angle, which I like. By the way, we did mention Petey. Was that yesterday? Good Lord, it feels like a lifetime ago.
That was yesterday.
Go check out yesterday's show. We talked to Colton Dock in the first half. Second half was Petey, one of the best shows we've done in a long time. So definitely check that out.
And we talked to Mark Bernard today.
Yeah,
and he had you were chatting him up about Artem Levshinov,
and he's saying how encouraging he looks and how every game he does something that makes your eyes bug out. It's so impressive, and just he's a great kid with a big heart and a great laugh, and he's finding his way. So lots of good. Rockford is starting to find their way too a little bit here. So arrow pointed up. Before we go, we got about 45 seconds left in the show. I know I speak for Mario and I speak for Greg that we are very grateful on this Thanksgiving Eve for all of you who are here with us after every show, whether you're active in the chat, whether you're watching us on YouTube and not participating, whether you're an old school podcast listener. Like none of this happens without you guys being here. And it's so great that after a win, we're seeing bigger viewers than usual. We're seeing more likes than usual. Still room for more likes if you haven't yet. We just really, really appreciate it. So thank you for being with us. And even though the Hawks have not been as expected this year, I think we all understand that the arrow is pointed up for this franchise, for this team, and the next couple of years are going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully you'll stick with us. And tell a friend. If you're at Thanksgiving and the conversation gets weird and your uncle starts saying weird stuff, you're like, hey, Uncle, you like hockey, right? You should check out this podcast. You would really, really like it. Spread the word for us. It helps a lot. And rock that merch that you're going to get
rid
at our
of
Black
one
Friday
weird
sale.
uncle. We don't need another one in here.
Exactly. Yeah. So we do appreciate all of you. So everybody have a great and safe Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you Friday after the Hawks and Wild right here on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.